Blizzard is handing out item sets in Season 4, and they're meant for 5 specific builds. In this video, we'll have a build for each of these item sets. For Barbarian, it is Dust Devil. Druid will play Pulverize. Necromancer gets Minion Army items, and Barrage for Rogue. And lastly, Incinerate for Sorg. Keep in mind, even if you don't want to play these builds right out of the window, if you now break down an item, the respective aspect will land in your Codex of Powers and you can enchant it at any point possible. It will not be in your inventory anymore and clogging things up. Nah. And this is actually quite cool because the first 4 chapters of the season journey are easy to do until level 55, even earlier. And the Druid Pulverize build needs one specific aspect to work, and that would be the Shockwave aspect for that 200% bonus damage. And if now the seasonal journey gives that to you early, well, that's fantastic. Talking about the Druid, let's straight jump into it. We get the Pulverize Overpower together with the Debilitating Roar for the damage reduction, into Trample to dash into your opponents and knock them down, then Grizzly Rage, and we're going to be actually playing Infinite Grizzly Rage, which gives us incredible bonus damage, damage reduction, and critical strike damage. Lastly, Earthen Bulwark for more defense, and the Shear is needed in the beginning for leveling. And the whole trick for Druid to level efficient is the aspect of the Umbral, which restores 1 to 4 of your primary resource when you crowd control an enemy, and that got updated to maximum of 6. Then your boots are getting the aspect of Quicksand, where damage from Earth skills now slows enemies. Pulverize is not an Earth skill though, but that gets followed up by Yurzen Horror. Pulverize is now an Earth skill. So we're going to be pulverizing, then you slow enemies, and if you slow them, you get a resource back. And that gives you an infinite spirit loop to never run out of spirit. And the best part is, your boots can now have something like spirit per second. That on top of the spirit we regain, we also get spirit per second. And not only that, with the Shockwave aspect on our weapon, we get insane damage. Then we have 105% overpowered damage on the second-hand mace anyways. We can get another 100% overpowered damage, maximum life. Then we can temper Earth overpowered damage, which is another 200%, followed up by Grizzly Rage duration with 50% more Grizzly Rage duration. Now, if we're adding the aspect of the Rampaging Werebeast, where we get another 5 seconds on Grizzly Rage, that brings Grizzly Rage already up to almost 20 seconds together with the kill extension. With a 50% increase, we're at a 30-second Grizzly Rage. Then having your Spirit Boon, which also extends the duration of ultimate skills by another 25%, and we are essentially infinite in Grizzly Rage. While we get a 10% critical strike damage increase up to 200% while we are the whole time in Grizzly Rage. And in general, we get a 3% damage bonus for every second that we're in. And we're in for like 45 seconds. Whew. Yeah. Pair that together with the max life on your weapon, max life on your boots, max life on your gloves, rings, max life everywhere. And it's going crazy. With the aspect of Retaliation, which gives you another 40% increased damage based on your amount of Fortify. And since we activate Grizzly Rage, that gives us 8% of your maximum life as Fortify per second while Grizzly Rage is active. Now lastly, let's mention the unique items. That's Vasili's Prayer. Your Earth skills are now Werebear skills and Fortify you. This gives you another amazing amount of overpower and max life, but also we're able to use Bulwark in Grizzly Rage form. That's double amazing. Pair this together with Insatiable Fury for even more overpower damage, damage reduction while fortified, with a bonus damage reduction while fortified, because fortify gives us anyways 15% now, and we're not going to be easy prey. Plus our Werebear skills get bonus ranks. Lastly, T-Bolt's Will, because that's just easy resource gain. Now, if you don't know which boss actually drops which unique, I'll drop a list in the description below with all the drop tables for the unique bosses. Until you get them, you can add any defensive aspects to just be a wee bit more tanky. Tempering wise, you can get Earth overpower damage on everything, or Werebear overpower damage. Literally overpower. Like we're getting another 700% overpower just from all the items and the tempering. Plus then the insane amount of overpower we anyways get. Like the weapon alone has 600% overpower. The interesting tempering is about the Debilitating Roar. Shapeshift into a Werebear, Roar, 70% damage reduction for 4 seconds on our enemies. That's quite huge. Together with a nice little Fortify, and the Roar heals you for 4% of your maximum life each second for its duration. That's a 4-second long super heal with a 17-second cooldown. Right now in the real world, 17.34 seconds as we have 4 ranks into it with the Insatiable Fury. But if we shift our points a bit smarter, we can put another 4 points into this, and that reduces the cooldown vastly. We're down to a 14.93 second cooldown, so that helped immense. And that would be on the pens if you don't want to play T-Bolt's Will, debilitating Roar duration, or even cooldown reduction. Duration being here way cooler, because it can be another 15% duration increase if we masterwork this 12 times. That's a 21%, and then you hit the masterwork on the 4 and the 8, you can go for 30% increased duration to heal for even longer. And currently with this build, I'm sitting at 24,000 life. That's not a lot because my boots don't have maximum life, my gloves don't have maximum life, my weapon doesn't have maximum life as well. Yes, everything can actually have maximum life now. Getting over 30,000 or even 35,000 maximum life will be easy than ever, especially since the rubies also provide 9% max life now. I think I'm going to be at 40,000 max life with this build. Easy. Paragon and skill tree in the description below. Barbarian is our good old Dust Devil friend inspired by Mr. Rob, and we're going for the double swing shout version to overwhelm your opponents with masses of Dust Devils. For that, you have on your one weapon aspect of the Fierce Winds, which has your shout skills create 3 Dust Devils that deal damage to enemies along their paths. And on this weapon, you get a bonus 50% chance to cast Dust Devil twice with the Tempering. And on your other two-handed weapon, after generating 100 Fury, your next direct damage creates 3 Dust Devils as well. And here you can temper for even more Dust Devil casting chance, which gets followed up by the aspect of the inner calm of your dual wield weapon for bonus damage and another Dust Devil chance to cast twice. And with these 3 temperings, we're at 100% double Dust Devil chance. Then we're reducing our leap cooldown with the Giant Strides, extend the duration of berserking that we can do even more damage. And lastly, have leap create an earthquake that gives us damage reduction, so that we now reduce the leap cooldown, get damage reduction, make Dust Devils, have the leap cooldown. Oh, and did we mention that casting Double Swing creates a Dust Devil that deals X damage, but triple the amount of Dust Devils created if Double Swing is cast twice within 2 seconds. So we're going to have Dust Devils with Dust Devils and Dust Devils. Can put out Juggernaut's aspect to essentially just easily max out your armor and not have to care about it. Since you technically do have your leaps to dash around, you don't necessarily need your actual dashes to dash so much around. Lastly, top that all up with an accelerating aspect to just get core skills, to have your critical strikes with core skills increase your attack speed and mash away. Now I would assume that the seasonal journey most likely provides for the Barbarian every Dust Devil aspect. So you're 100% going to get Fierce Winds and the Devilish aspect. And hopefully they're going to add the Wind Lasher as well, that we get that double cast too. But we don't know 100% which we're going to get yet. Now to the Minion Necromancer, and the good part is that the aspects they're going to provide us are pretty streamlined for every build, which means you could play the Bone Spear, Blight, Sever, Blood Surge. Most likely all of them are possible with what this seasonal journey provides us. We're going to take a quick peek at the Golem Necromancer that can do up to 6 billion damage, probably nerfed a bit to 2 billion. Sorry, you're going to 2-hit everything instead of 1-hit everything. Thank you, Blizzard. And the main aspect is the Bloodgetters one, to heal yourself and give yourself bonus damage and your minions even more bonus damage with a Skeletal Priest. Then Occult Dominion for more Skeletal Warriors and Mages. That one you 100% have to get. We get the Unyielding Commander for the bonus damage when you're using Army of the Dead, followed up by Frenzied Dead for more attack speed for your minions. You can see these 1, 2, 3, 4 are pretty much being played by every minion build. Lastly, the aspect of Reanimation, which gives you another 40% damage multiplier to all your minions. Yes, these 5 are being played by everything. Plus, Hardened Bones for a 25% damage reduction to you and your minions. Just like that. Boom. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 aspects that almost every single minion build plays. Nothing changes about that. What changes is you might be playing Blighted for the bonus shadow damage multiplier up to 240%, and which temperings you're taking, because right now we have golem damage, we have golem damage, golem damage, golem damage, golem damage, just to have the maximum of him smashing out. Alternative, you can go for your mages casting twice, more summoning skill damage, more attack speed. All these things are available. And that we pair together with a very important thing, and that is cooldown reduction on the amulet and the helmet, that you're able to essentially spam your Army of the Dead as often as possible, because that is an incredible damage multiplier, and your minions don't take any more damage at all. Most important thing with your equipment will be hitting at least 100% attack speed bonus, because your minions get 30% multiplicative more damage for every 20% attack speed up to 100%. So 150% attack speed multiplier is possible. But that's it then. That's like kind of the maximum. And don't worry about survivability, because your shadow damage together with the Paragon boards provides a good amount of damage reduction. And most important, we have that goddamn stupid just flat 25% bonus from the hardened bones. It couldn't be easier. For Rogue, we're having the Poison Trap Barrage Rogue inspired by Voodie Joe. Thank you, Voodie. And this build might single-handedly make me play Rogue, because we're using Barrage to rain down arrows on our enemies, which will get boosted by our Poison Imbuement. And there is some incredible temperings, like Poison Imbuement lasts for X more cast. Poison Imbuement lasts for X more cast. Poison Imbuement has plus more cast. Like you just have even more out of your Poison Imbuement to then barrage them down with it. Followed up by Poison Trap to reduce incoming damage and increase our outgoing damage. And then area nuke them with a Death Trap. All in all, we have a lot of cooldown reduction going on with Exposure, so we can spam our skills as much as possible. Thank you, Barrage, for your very high lucky hit chance. Concealment is there to grant us some mobility, and a Smoke Grenade keeps us alive and allows us to start every fight without getting blasted with too much damage. And the crazy part is, chance for Barrage projectiles to cast twice on our two-handed weapon, and our one-handed weapons are also getting this, and that is a 100% chance again for Barrage to be cast twice. Then you're going to have your Barrage arrows pierce, and then you're also going to have your Barrage arrows ricochet. So we're going to have a double casted, piercing, ricocheting Barrage going off with bonus damage, bonus damage, bonus damage, bonus damage. T-Bolts will for even more bonus damage. And interestingly enough, we can temper dodge chance with an increase in dodge chance in general to then fortify. And as we can then dodge and fortify as a rogue, that's even more damage reduction to stay alive. With the funniest lucky hit that your poison imbued skills can create pools that deal X poison damage over 3 seconds and remove your poison imbuement cooldown. Then we have again the poison imbuement last longer, make more pools with lucky hit, and then yeah, tempered chance to freeze enemies, so we can then deal more damage to frozen enemies. This build is so much fun and single-handedly the reason why I consider playing Rogue this season. Last but not least, the Incinerate Sword, using Incinerate and then boosting that into 3 beams that do incredible damage on a two-handed weapon with the Hydra, Frost Novaing, returning mana with Ice Armor, teleporting around, and Flame Shielding to have even more mana return, as using Prodigy's Aspect for cooldown restores mana, together with a lot of resource generation tempering, you guessed right, resource generation tempering. And then we have the Fireball enchantment that everything pops that we essentially incinerate, which gives us a lucky hit chance to spawn firewalls. And then if we spawn firewalls with a Flamewalker aspect, we can move faster through them. We generally have a lucky hit chance for your Pyromancy skills to restore mana. So we're doing Pyromancy, restore everything. And with the aspect of Conflagration, while channeling Incinerate, your burning damage is increased by 40x. Enemies hit by Incinerate explode, burning all surrounding enemies. Even more burning damage. With the aspect of Concentration, we would get some damage reduction done as we cast some Conjuring skill with a Hydra, so we have damage reduction stacks that we don't die that much. With Concussive Strikes, we daze the enemy and deal even more damage. Aspect of Fortune gives us a little bit more lucky hit chance as we have Barrier, and well, we kind of can make sure that we always have Barrier with Sorg. And then with the aspect of Engulfing Flames, you deal 30% bonus burning damage to enemies who are below 50% of their total life. When enemies are affected by more damage over time than their total life, you deal even more burning damage. Plus the Paragon board providing quite some, well, glyphs to be activated. You know, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a lot of damage reduction from there. While with all the barrier and damage reduction, worst case scenario with warmth, as we do actually have warmth tempering on our helmet, for example, we can restore ourselves. Thank you very much. Mana per second rounds the whole thing up on the helmet and the boots, that we essentially always have enough mana to cast maximum flamethrowers. We kind of have to stand still, so that's the only caveat of the build. While you're casting flamethrowers, it's kind of flamethrower, teleport, flamethrower, teleport, So you're not actually walking, you're just teleporting from one flamethrower to the next. Ladies and gentlemen, which one is it going to be for you? Necro, Sorg, Druid, Barb, or rather the Rogue? No matter what you choose, here's some general tips for this season and leveling advice to get you smoother through your journey. Enjoy, and thank you for watching.